Hi guys, welcome to Pediatric Nursing. I am Professor Smith and I will be your course instructor for this class. We will have class time, we will have simulation for this course, and we will also have clinical. So I am just going to go over the syllabus for the course. I think there's a small little blip at the end for simulation, and then we will discuss in further detail about the clinical syllabus. So let's just get started here. So I do have this verse for you as for the cohort for the course. It comes from Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and always submit to him, and he will make your path straight. So I would imagine there are several of you that are fearful, scared, don't want to do pediatrics. Kids can be a little terrifying to some students, and that's okay. What I want you to understand is trust in the Lord with your heart, and he's going to get you through this course. So just make sure you're kind of leaning on him when things get uncomfortable. So as far as the syllabus review, class time is on Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 o'clock till 2:50. We are in Santa Fe Commons now, room 202, so it's that big room in the middle of the building. You will see the course description, the course objectives, and then my teaching philosophy. We've been through this before, right? I'm not going to read it to you. You guys are adults, you know how to read, so just make sure you look at that. As far as instructional methods, we'll have pre-class assigned readings, interactive presentations, interactive group activities. Sorry, I can't read that tiny print on my screen. Cases or concepts, projects, and presentations. We do have one growth and development project that I will talk about during week 2, but just be prepared to start seeing some information come out about that. We will have quizzes. I will let you know ahead of time about those quizzes. Same rules apply. I will allow a 3x5 card with your handwritten notes on it, front and back, for you to utilize during those quizzes. We will have exams. There's ATI modules and course point assignments. The required material is the book that is shown there on your screen. Please make sure that you get the Course Point Plus, because I have assigned some of the VSIMs that come with the Plus package. If you don't get the Plus, you don't get the VSIMs, and if you don't do the VSIMs, those would just be zeros in the book, in your grade book. So the calendar is posted. You will see the reading requirements for each class period. The assignments, again, should be included on the calendar. They'll include quizzes, ATI assignments, and those prep use. We'll talk a little bit about those here in just a second. Again, there will be a group project. We will do some case studies in class, exams. We do have a proctored exam for this course, so you will be required to take the online practice A and B. As far as grading, exams are going to be worth 60% of your grade. There are 3 exams. I typically do mini exams for peds, but the way the calendar fell, and we have Labor Day on week 2 and we don't have class, it was going to be very hard for me to navigate that mini exam. So I just switched it to 3 exams. It's more content for each exam, but we'll go over those really clearly in class so you can understand the expectations for each exam. Learning assignments are 15%. That includes your course point plus prep use and those VSIMs. You have a few ATI assignments. There's not a lot of them, and they primarily come towards the front of the course. Again, quizzes will be involved in those learning assignments, and then in-class activities. Your ATI proctored assessment will be 10% of your grade, and then the growth and development project will be for 15% of the grade, and that is going to be a poster presentation, and it will have a required peer review. Here's the grading policy. It should not look any different than any other syllabus that you have reviewed. Remembering you have to get a 73% to pass the course. If your exam grades fall below 73%, it's an automatic failure. If your course grade falls below 73%, it's an automatic failure. Your exam grade will trump your course grade if that one falls below 73. So after exam 1, if you are concerned about your grade at all, we need to meet and let's talk about better ways to study for exam 2. I do highly recommend if you get a grade less than 78% on that, especially on that first exam, to look at NetTutor or an in-person tutoring in the maybe library. That's just going to help benefit you. If I had the time and energy to be able to pour in tutoring for those of you that could potentially get less than a 78%, I definitely would. I just don't know that I would be able to give you everything I've got. So make sure you are definitely looking into NetTutor or that in-person tutoring for any extra help that you may need. If it's simple stuff like I just don't understand this concept, please come to me. And if it's a question that's beyond the time I have really to give you, I'll send you towards NetTutoring. But if it's a quick question that I can answer, I definitely will do my best to do that. All right, so let's talk about rubric and the assignment details. We have those in-class quizzes. Those should not be new to you. They are in-class quizzes. So if you are not in class, you cannot take the quiz. It has to be done in class. And if I'm going to start it right at the time class starts, and I'm going to end it within 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how many questions I have on it. If you arrive late to class, you may not be able to complete the quiz. If you, or you're going to zip through it and maybe not be so successful with it. We will not make any quizzes up. So if for some reason you get there at 1:10 because you had car trouble, unfortunately you've missed the quiz and that's just going to be that. Don't forget you can do that 3x5 card with handwritten notes. ATI practice assessment, you guys have done those multiple times now. Because there's a proctored exam, we have to do those practice assessments. So practice A and practice B will be due before we take the proctored exam. I do, again, require just a 90% in order to get credit for that assignment. Assignments can be, what do I have here? In-class activities is basically what I want to touch on. In-class activities are in-class activities for a reason. You've done your reading, maybe we've done a lecture, now we're solidifying it with an in-class activity. So if you're not in class for the activity, there is no makeup for that. If you don't submit something and I ask you to submit it, you won't get credit for that. So just be mindful. Typically, I'll tell you if there's a drop box that I want you to submit something. If not, I'm taking attendance and you will get the credit if you are in class for the in-class assignment. Self-study, this is a 3-credit course, meaning you should spend 3 hours per credit outside of class studying. So 3 times 3 would be 9 hours outside of class doing your studying. That really should not count your prep use, your ATI assignments, all of that. That's actual study time. So just be aware. This class has a lot of assignments to help prepare you for the exams that you're going to have to take. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Prep U. They have to be completed online. The Prep U assignments have been assigned. They will open on Tuesday after class for the next week. So you will have from Tuesday at 3 until the night before class to get those Prep U's completed for the chapter we're going to be talking about. That should give you plenty of time to get those done. I am requiring a level 6. I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm trying to make you prepared for NCLEX. So it is a level 6. So the grading is going to be, if you complete a chapter, you get 100% for that chapter. If there are 3 chapters assigned for that week, let's say I assign chapter 25, 26, and 27, and you get all 3 of them completed at a level 6, 100% will go into the grade book for 25, 26, and 27. If you get 25 and 26 done and you're like, I am over this, I'm not doing 27, then you've done 2 out of the 3 and a 67% will be placed into the grade book. If you have questions on that, please let me know. It's really just going to be based on how many chapters are assigned and then how many you complete. If you complete them all, it's a no-brainer. You get all of the credit for it as long as you hit that level 6. If you complete none of them, again, it's a no-brainer. You get a 0 in the grade book, and that will be unfortunate. You won't be fully prepared for the exams that we will be taking. The the Next Gen VSIMS is also on Course Point. Again, that's the plus component of it, so make sure you get that Course Point plus. I have assigned, I think, 4 of the VSIMS. So as far as the VSIMS, I expect you to do the simulation piece of it, the pre-quiz, that would be before the simulation, and the post-quiz. So, excuse me, no credit for the pre-quiz, but I want you to take the pre-quiz in order to get credit for the assignment. The VSIM will be 90% of your grade, and the post-quiz will be 10% of your grade. So if you see my example there, if you get a 92% on the simulation part of it, I'm going to take that times 90%. And then if you get a 90 on the post quiz, that'll be worth 10%. I will add those together, and then your final grade would be a 91.8. That will be what goes into the grade book. Again, if you have any questions on how I'm calculating that, just please let me know. And then exams, our exams are going to be no different. We'll be in the library for the exams. For this course, the exams will be the class time. So we'll go into the library, we'll take the exam, and that will be your class time for the day. If you are greater than 10 minutes late to the exam, I'm going to take a 10% deduction. If for any reason you don't make it to the exam and it's an unexcused, then you'll also get that 10% deduction, and then we'll have to do a makeup. Let's see, we talked about all of that. All of that is still applicable for this course like it has been for any other course. ATI assessment, this is the proctored assessment. It talks about your grade or your levels, remembering level 1 or below level 1 will have to remediate for this course. If you get a level 2 or a level 3, there's no remediation, and then you can see what grades will go in the grade book based on the level you score for the proctored exam. What is this one? Course policies and procedures. There's attendance policy. We don't have a true attendance policy. I'm probably not going to take attendance every class, but if we have an activity, I am going to take attendance just to see who's there and who's not there and who's going to get credit for any in-class activities. I'm going to be honest, guys, I have you for 14 days for the semester, and we're going to get a lot of content in those 14 days. Missing a class is going to miss a lot of content, so I would just highly, highly recommend that you're able to make every class period. Communication, academic integrity. Remember, as nurses, integrity is huge. Honesty, trust in yourself, in your peers, helps your patients out. So make sure we're being honest and truthful through exams, through assignments, through everything that we do as future nurses. The Maybe Learning Center has lots of things that you can access. Of course, that's the library, right? It also has the Academic Success Center, online tutoring. Sorry, it's not Smart Thinking anymore. It's that Net Tutor that you can just get online. You can access that through Moodle. If for any reason you need any special accommodations, make sure you're talking to Kay Hall about that. All right, and here's a quick blip on simulation. So you are going to attend one pediatric simulation this semester in the Virtual Patient Center. There actually isn't going to be a sign up genius for this. I have just assigned those dates, and I will hopefully get those open soon if they aren't already open. It'll be on Wednesday afternoons from noon till 4:50, and we will utilize pretty much that entire almost 5-hour period of time. If you have any questions on simulation, make sure you check Moodle out first. It's laid out really well once it's opened for you. But if you read through it, you're still confused about anything, you can either reach out to myself or you can reach out to Professor Addis, since she's now the director over the VPC. There will be 2 patient simulations that you'll do during that day. I know that might sound confusing because you're just used to having 1 simulation, but we're there for a 4.5 period time. So we're going to go through 2 scenarios. You'll have a respiratory patient and you're going to have an endocrine patient. All pre-work paperwork should be handwritten, and that's your ticket into simulation. So I would really highly encourage you to do your simulation paperwork the week you have simulation, so it's fresh in your mind when you come to simulation. If you're week 4 and you're doing simulation paperwork in week 1, you're going to forget a lot of what you've written, or in all honesty, as we move through the course, you're going to gain some more knowledge as you for those simulations. So just I would highly encourage just to do that pre-work paperwork the week you have simulation. And that's going to conclude this syllabus review. If you have any questions at all, please make sure you shoot me an email. We can chat about some questions in class. I just wanted to use this time for you to listen to this so that we're not taking a lot of time out of class to go over the syllabus. Don't forget, after the first class time on Monday, we will meet for clinical syllabus. So all of you that are going to Children's Mercy for your clinical experience, I need for you to stay maybe 30-ish minutes, depending on how many questions we have, to go over the clinical syllabus. Have a great evening, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.